Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
thank you for listening.
Dane, how are you, man?
Good, good. Ready for another one. Just got off the fields. Wind blown today, a little rainy, but it was a great day.
Great day. Sid took second, is that correct? With the 29ers?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
From the actually, she was guest playing with another 14U team, so
That's awesome,
took
man.
second and had a good time and met some new kids, and it
I
was
love
a
it.
great, great weekend.
It's
How
always
about
fun to
yourself?
call. It's been a great day, man. I'm glad you got
Yeah,
a fun time calling. Been kind of hanging out. We had an off
yeah.
week. The girls had a lot of pool parties and things, and just kind of enjoying. My project today was to put together like a patio set, so that took me all day long. So
Oh
I finally
man.
got that put together. As it's raining, right?
Well, it's one thing putting it together. Is it going to stay together?
That's true. Yeah. Well, that is yet to be determined. We haven't set on it yet. So like it's just for looks, right?
Oh, there you
So I've
go.
been on this thing, Dane, lately, as we evolve the show, and we've always talked
Yeah,
about being unapologetically supportive, feminist, you want to call it. In a minute, we're going to bring on our guest, Dani Myers Glynn. She goes by Dani Lifts Heavy. Basically, what you would call her is like a strong woman. Strong women.
yeah,
We've had Nick Bass, people like that. We've had Travis. The world of strong women fascinates me, Dane. This girl's known
yeah,
for her deadlift of 462, has bench pressed over 247, which
yeah,
brings me to some points. These are some average stats for the average person. Check this out,
yeah.
Dan. I'm going to give you some history. You ready?
All
The
right.
average person, the average American person cannot do three pull-ups
Hmm.
without failure. Three pull-ups. The average American man cannot bench press more than 135 to 175.
Oh man.
The average American woman, or it is just really in general, the average woman can bench press between 80 and 100 pounds. So thinking about the average, again, I understand everyone's got different paths in life, but you think about average to failure, things that we
Yeah.
all, what do I set my mind to? And this girl's
Right.
known for deadlifting over 462, like sort of bench press
Yeah.
records, and not stopping. So talk about taking a journey of doing whatever it takes to be the best, the alpha, the strongest person in the room. That's
Yeah.
Dani. So without wasting any time, I'm really hyped for this one. I want to bring Dani on. Dani, how you doing, my friend?
I'm well. I'm happy to be here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Dani, it's an honor. I meant everything I said, like watching what you do, how you just the body of work literally that you represent, the way you literally are the strongest person, not only mentally but physically. That any of us know it's incredible. I want to kind of get into the beginning phase of Dani. Dani lifts heavy. This whole motto now that you have, everybody knows you as being this just super fierce competitor and just someone that won't quit. But there had to be like a starting point when this began, before the
Yeah.
records, before I guess the epic strengths, the feats of strength. When did all this begin for you back in the day, if you will?
Yeah, I actually found powerlifting when I was in high school. So little 16-year-old me, maybe even younger than that. My older brother was in high school with me, and he was like, "This is my last year in school. I want you to do something with me." So I actually joined the powerlifting team as I think I was a freshman. So um, it started then, and high school powerlifting is much different than the powerlifting I do now. But it started then. I started, and then I like did it for a year, a season, and then I was like, I'm not doing that ever again. It was very like typical, like I was a teenage girl. I was very insecure in my body, very insecure in like being in the weight room. Like it was really scary, really intimidating. Fast forward all of these years later, I don't even want to say how long it's been, but my husband introduced me to my coach. So at the time, he was being coached by him in a different type of style of lifting, and I had just kind of been like doing my own thing in the gym. And my coach was like, "Hey, you're pretty strong." Like I had squatted 300 pounds on my own, just kind of like doing a 5 by 5. Like I didn't even know. Like I was just like, I'm just gonna put it on the bar. I'm gonna squat it. So that was in 2020. So like my first program that had been written for me was 1 week before the gyms shut down. So the gyms were shut down in 2020, and I actually was so committed to this meet that I had signed up for that my husband bought us like bumper plates and blocks from a CrossFit gym, and we lifted on our porch for the entirety that the gyms were shut down because I was like, I have
Really?
to get this. Yeah, I have to get this working. I
Yeah.
can't stop the gains. Like I have to get strong. So,
Wow.
it's been fun. It's been a really cool journey.
So
Yeah.
essentially, like someone just kind of discovered you. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just not realizing that it's like when they say there's you don't even realize your strength. I'm over here just deadlifting, squatting 300, no big deal. People see. I think it's
Yeah.
normal. Oh, I'm over here trying to do like 90, right? And she's in
Yeah.
the gym, Dane doing 300,
Yeah.
and someone
Yeah.
discovered that's cool. The dedication to do it kind of during COVID too,
Yeah.
man, when everything shuts down. And Dane, right? That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, starting your freshman year, back, like you said, you don't want to, date yourself, but now you hear a lot of girls that are going into that sport as well.
Yeah.
When you started doing that, were you doing other sports and activities at that same time into your freshman year or you
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, so I was like the type of girl that I was like, I don't want to do anything athletic. I was doing sports medicine. So I did
Mhm.
sports medicine all 4 years, and that was so I could earn a PE credit, so I didn't have to do anything else. So I think I have like a really non-traditional track to getting to like a strength sport.
uh,
Because I dabbled in CrossFit a little bit after, but I wasn't really doing anything. Like my mom had put me in dance for a little bit. I wasn't into it. I
Wow.
did swim team. Yeah, I did swim team for a little bit and I enjoyed that. But again, like being a typical like 16-year-old and like in a swimsuit and your body is changing and I was just like this is just I'm scared and
Yeah.
I spent a lot of my life scared. So to answer your question, no.
Wow.
well,
When you think,
and
go ahead,
I
Dane.
was going to say, and with powerlifting, it, like you say, being at 16 at that age, you're kind of, I guess you're just becoming aware of your body and things like that. Now with powerlifting, it's not so much one of those sports of, okay, I'm primped and pressed and I have to look pretty.
Mhm.
What was it about that appealed to you? Was it that I can just be me and go out there and do my thing and show the
Mm.
world what I can do? What was it about powerlifting that said, this is what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, I love this question. It broke every barrier that I ever had for myself.
Uh-huh.
It released me of looking any type of way.
Yeah.
So if you look at my history since I've started lifting in 2020, my body has changed a lot. So I've gained a bunch of weight and then lost a bunch of weight.
Mhm.
Part of that was strategic that I wanted to be in different weight classes. Part of it was for health. But when I started, I was relatively heavy. I was in the super heavyweight category, which is where I wanted to be. It's where I wanted to
Mhm.
compete. And I never had the thought of, um, I can't believe I look like this on the platform. It was like, I can't wait for people to see what I can do on the platform.
Love that.
Yeah.
Because
Love
yeah,
that.
because I was strong and that's what powerlifting is like how strong can you be? And nobody cares about what you look like. Nobody cares about the
Yeah.
ugly faces that you're making because you just want to make your best lift. And if you're going to make
Yeah.
your best lift, you're going to be red in the face. Like you're going to be grunting and maybe screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really like released me of thinking about how I looked to other people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so
Wow. Love it.
the influence of that, Dane, and it's so because I have daughters, Dane and I both. We get these
Mhm.
questions a lot, and it's so cool. Again, approach that subject. In a world of like strong power, like
Yeah.
the point is to be the strongest in the room. That is like the shining moment. It's kind of
Yeah.
like you said, freeing, where I don't have to worry about all the other ancillary stuff. And you think about some sports where especially the fake world of TikToks and the polished and all this
Mhm.
just fake stuff.
Yeah.
That you can't get more real than, hey, my only agenda here is to be the strongest person in the room. Like
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
fake that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
the way you say that, the influence, like it's so good for girls to hear that, like, hey, you can
Yeah.
still be you, and afterwards we can go, prom it up, get makeup,
Right.
whatever, but during this part
Totally.
right here, let's focus
Yeah.
on the strength. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the influence thing that you're obviously the net that you're casting, it goes a long way. People, when I said we were having you on, we've got so many DMs about, wait, I can't
Yeah.
wait, Danny, with that.
Oh.
Your whole, like, what you do, it's a
Mhm.
movement, like, hey,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
strong, be you, it's cool.
Yeah.
Obviously the influence you have on others is huge, but I'm curious, like, there's got to be someone that influences you even now, who's in your ear telling you to keep going.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I love this question. And I was like thinking about it. I was just like texting my best friend before, and she was like, "Hey, there's no wrong answer here." And I was like, "Oh, you're right." So her, my best friend, who also she's like my training partner, she has been training with me all 5 years that I've been training. She's with me every step of the way. When I'm having bad days, she's like the first person that I'm like, "Can we talk about this?" Outside of her, I would say my family is a huge influence. My mom is like a really emotionally strong person and she's a survivor. She's just like gone through a really horrible like divorce and she's
Mhm.
just like this incredible like warrior woman. She's raised 4 kids. She's doing it on her own now.
Uh-huh.
She's just awesome. And she is a rock for me. So like if again, having a bad day, if I'm like really questioning what am I doing? Um, I call her. And then I would say my older brother who got me into lifting is another huge one. He's usually who I go to when I'm like, I need to pick me up. I think I'm going insane doing this sport. Is it worth it? And he's always like, yes, like he's just like wise, I think, beyond his years than he knows. And like he like
Mhm.
tells me stuff, and he doesn't even know that it's like impactful. And I'll say one more thing that
Yeah, of
that's
course.
really influenced me is I listened to Jordan Childs's
Yeah.
most recent book.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I've gotten really into like athletes, especially Olympic athletes, because I'm like, it takes a special kind of something to get there, a mindset. And I have been thinking about this a lot, is her mom always told her, you can quit, but you can't quit on a bad day.
Ooh,
I know, and
that's
I have
good.
been thinking about that a lot because like my last training prep, I had a really tough time, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm glad I heard that, because there was a lot of bad days that I was like, I want to quit. And then of course, when you're having a good day, you're like, I don't want to quit. Like, I'm having a great time
Wow.
here.
Wow.
So I've been kind of like carrying that and thinking about that a lot. So I would say like my family, my best friend Julie, and like athlete books, just like in general, of like the mindset that these people have is just like
Yeah.
incredible. So
It's cool to,
Wow.
but shout out to Julie, mom and dad. Mom, thank you, mom.
yeah,
Julie, thank you. Jordan, thank you for inspiring.
yeah,
I love that. That's a good quote. You can't quit on a bad day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah,
you see people all the time where it's like, obviously we see you in the highlights and the footage, but the 5
Yep.
a.m. workouts when nobody's there, or it's
yeah,
just you
Yeah.
getting
Absolutely.
up to, I really want to do this before I get up, do my day today. And that's the stuff that
yeah,
people need to hear about is, yes, there is
Yeah.
this, the spotlight, the Arnold, the classics, the 2023, like seeing
yeah,
all that's cool, but the behind the scenes stuff. Dana, am I right? The
Yeah.
grind, the
Yeah.
work ethic. We
Yeah.
talk about it all the time. So
Yeah. That's where we always hear that's where champions are made, when nobody's looking.
yeah.
So
mhm.
speaking of, your next event with the Arnolds and things like that, now that we're in obviously the full stride of 2025, what's on the horizon for you? What events are you maybe looking to get into? And also what maybe on some of the various lifts that you do, are you looking to maybe some peaks that you're looking to hit this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm training. I'm about 6 weeks out right now from the USAPL Nationals. So it is like a big deal. You have to have like a qualifying total to get there. I did my first meet at a new body weight, so I'm like kind of like making my name in this. It's 90 kilos, so it's about 198 pounds. So just for some perspective, I started my heaviest, I was around 252, and I'm now competing and under, it's like 198. So I've
Mm.
lost a ton of weight to get here. So I'm really excited to kind of like make my name in this 90-kilo weight class.
Yep.
My coach and I are like crunching numbers all the time, and he's like, okay, if you can do this, this, and this, I think you can place this place.
Mm.
So I'm hoping to place top three this year. I've done my first nationals, I was seventh, and then the last two nationals I've placed fifth. So I'm like, okay, my time is coming. Like, I've been working really
Yeah.
hard. I think I'm gonna place top three this year. We'll see
Oh,
what
wow.
happens. I hope you guys are rooting for me.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. So we'll travel out there. My family's coming to support me. That's always a really fun meet. It's just like cool to see,
That's cool.
again, like, yeah, talk about like people that influence me. The girls in my weight class that I'm competing against, I'm like, these girls are incredible, like absolutely amazing, because it's varies from any age, any weight class. Like, just seeing some of the strongest women in the nation is just
Yeah.
like incredible. I always leave like rejuvenated, and I'm like, man, I love powerlifting. I love what I do. I love like, getting to see it.
The
Um,
recharge, right? Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
And then I'll probably take a break for the rest of this year. So my history has been about 3 meets a year. So I did the Arnold early this year. I'll do nationals
Yeah.
this year, and then we've got some vacations planned this year with my family. And I'm like,
Good.
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that
Yeah.
this year.
You
Yeah.
hard
We'll
work. You got to
see.
give yourself some
Yeah.
some time off,
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
we'll see what
Man.
comes up. I was just looking at the state meet, the Ohio State meet in December, and I was like, okay, December is not, and I'm like, okay, wait, no, hold on, let me take a step back.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm listening to this. I always make notes. I'm going back. So taking this 5 year glimpse. Man, it's been 5 years since COVID. But think about this. 5 years ago, you're kind of doing your thing at the gym, and this, just hear this out, Dan. Listen to this. 5 years ago, you're doing your thing, just strongest person in the room, just lifting, no big deal. 5 years into the future, you're talking about being at the Arnold, the Ohio State Classics. Now I'm like, I'm planning my 3 meets a year. I'm going into the top three. From all of you listening out there, 5 years ago to now, from not that you were ever normal, because not average, but like from doing like your daily thing to this, we're recognized worldwide in 5 years. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I just love the story behind that. And in the short span of time, you work hard, and hard work doesn't have to take forever to pay off. So
Yeah.
Dane, what do you say to that? Because that's 5 years of just epicness, you know? So
Yeah, like we've heard before, you keep your nose to the grindstone. I mean, anything could happen. And like I always tell everybody, you do something well, people take notice. So
Oh, yeah.
congratulations so far. And like we say, we're definitely in your corner.
yes, we'll be watching, Danny. If it's streaming, we'll be watching
Yeah.
it too. So I can't wait to we'll be promoting the heck out of that for you. I got to
Great.
say this before I go into wrap it, Danny. Thank you again. There's the way you are so vocal about girls need to hear this, especially like there's such a stigma of like taboo and talking about weight and things. I'm so thankful that you're so free talking about that, because so many girls are like, they look at you like you're crazy if you ask them. So hey, what'd you weigh in at today?
Totally.
Well, don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. Like it's such a taboo topic and it's socially awkward. You don't mean anything by it, but it's so cool that you're normalizing just being. It's normal to talk about it. This is just part of. So thank you. I can't say enough thank you to all of
us. Yeah,
absolutely. That's cool. So the next segment, I promise you, Danny, and all the media you've done, I promise you, this is the segment you've never had before. Danny and I do something we're known for called rapid fire. Okay. Dane, we're 300 episodes deep of this segment, and what me and Dane do, we have 5 questions. We're betting on you. There's no wrong answer. As your friend said, there's no wrong answer for this. Okay. Julie, you're spot on. With this, we're gonna ask you a question. Dane and I, we bet all we think you're gonna say, and you go with what you think is right. Whichever one of us gets closest to picking the right answers gets lunch provided by the loser. So there's a wager on it.
Okay.
So in this segment, reality doesn't exist. You could be a cartoon. You can go back in time. It's just a personality test about you. So you go with what you feel is right. Okay. So they're bringing a new event to APL this year. It's like kind of an entertainment thing on a media day. They're bringing something new. They give all of you guys a bunch of giant chainsaws to say, hey, we're gonna have ice sculpture competitions at the event this year. Ice sculptures, and your topic you can choose to basically make an ice sculpture out of. You can roll with making an ice sculpture of the Predator, like the Predator, or you can make an ice sculpture of SpongeBob for your competition. Predator, SpongeBob, which way are we going?
I'm going SpongeBob.
Let's go, Dane. I had it.
All day long.
Let's go, Dane. What'd you have, Dane, on that?
Oh, I had Predator. It was so menacing and
it'd
be right up the alley.
That'd be such a cool event to see, like before you guys get down, start lifting. It's like you're over there just hacking stuff up. It's so cool. So, Dan, I got you one. Okay, so question 2. This is kind of back to that. After the event's over, everyone's kind of recovery day afterwards before you guys all fly back. They want you to coach flag football for a team. They want you to be in charge of coaching flag football for the day. And it's a celebrity event, so these are the cast of these 2 TV shows, and you can choose. So we're taking you back as you are now, Danny Lifts Heavy, 2025. You're going back to the mid-90s. You just time travel. You can flag football coach for the cast of Friends or the cast of Cheers. Friends, Cheers, which way are you going?
I'm going Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I had Friends. I really did. Dane, what do you have on that?
Yeah, I had Friends as well.
Okay.
I can see Cheers. It's a classic.
I got you. Okay, got you. So hey, again, it's anybody's game, nobody's wrong on this one. Celebrity judging question, next one. So you get a chance in between your meets this year. You get a chance to be a celebrity judge on one of these 2 awesome shows. They want your content, they want your dialogue, they want your brain, for being kind of an expert in this field. You can be a celebrity judge on American Ninja Warrior or American Gladiator. Which way are you going?
Oh, Gladiator. Gladiator's such a classic.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dan, I have that. Dan, how about you?
Yeah, a Gladiator.
Okay. I got you. I'm still up by 1, Dane, so let's see if you can come back with these last 2. 2 more. Let's see, Danny, how we do. So last 2. You get a chance. These are a couple movie questions. Fans like to submit movie questions, okay? So you get to be, as you know, if you don't know, if you guys don't know me, I'm a gigantic John Wick fan. I love it. I love that they're going with Ballerina in the next one. So Ballerina 2 is already in the making, and Dani Myers Glynn is going to be part of Ballerina 2. You've been casted. You didn't know it yet. And you get to choose your bad guy. You're the good gal in this one. And your main enemy you get to fight in Ballerina 2 is Jason Statham or Tony Jaa. Which way are you going?
Jason Statham.
Oh, dang it. I had Jaa. I really did. Dang, what'd you have on that?
Jason Statham, man.
Dang it, man.
That's the only way to go on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You caught up to me, Dan, so we're tied. Okay. So this totally different one from, I've watched you, I've followed your social media, kind of your style. This is a different type of movie than maybe what you probably expected to play. They're going to cast you in a Western. And Dani Myers Glynn's going to be in a Western, okay? So they're making a remake of these 2 franchises. And as I said, they're kind of taking the female leadership role this time, female character, 2 classic franchises. You can be the star in the remake of Tombstone or the remake of Unforgiven. Which way are you going?
Yeehaw, I'm going Tombstone.
Let's go. I had it, Dan. I did. I really did. How about you, Dan, on that one?
Oh, I got that one wrong. Unforgiven.
So you know what that means, Dane? That means I beat you again, man. That's two in a row. So thank you, Danny, for getting my lunch provided. Dane owes me some like taco pronto or something. So
Yeah,
Dane, I
something.
appreciate that. So
Extra protein in honor
but
of me, please.
Oh,
please,
there you go.
extra, extra.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, thank you, Dan. It's a little different segment we have called Rapid Fire. Hopefully that's
yeah.
something you haven't had before in the past. So
Nope.
appreciate that. Dan, I'll
That
give
was
it back to
fun.
you for the last.
On this last segment, Danny, we call it open mic. We open our mics to let the guests talk about maybe a mantra or a philosophy that they've carried through their career thus far that kind of helps them through the rough times or even in the good times. Is there something that you kind of keep inside yourself that keeps you pushing forward that you can maybe share with some of our younger viewers to help them on their path as well?
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. I am a big believer in positive self-talk. The voice inside your head is the most powerful voice that is out there. And there's
That's
a
good.
couple of things I do. Yeah. So I have a dry erase board that I kind of write some things on, for each meet. So I have it here. I won't let you read all of it
Yeah.
because private, but I have it here.
Proprietary.
And so, yeah,
Oh, nice.
I've got things on here of like the goals that I want to achieve, things that like I don't give up when things get hard. And it's very like absolute, it's things that are very true about myself and things that I can honor no matter what situation I'm in. So
Yeah.
I don't give up when things get hard. I've earned this, right? Things like that.
Mm.
And this has worked for me for the last like 3 years. I read a book series that I just like fell in love with. I was super inspired by the author and the character in this book. It's the Throne of Glass series. I'm sure lots of like young girls are going to be like, "Oh my God, I love that book." It's a great series. In part of it, she's telling herself like, "You do not yield, right? You don't give up. You're not going. This is not going to be the end." Before my last deadlift, with like the close out the day at a meet, that is what I tell myself: "You're not going to give up." And
Mm.
I pulled my heaviest deadlift telling myself that. So I pulled
Wow.
500 pounds, and right before I did it, I said, "You do not yield," and I pulled that stinking
Wow.
deadlift off the ground.
Wow.
So like yeah, so I'm a big believer in like self-talk, like positive self-talk and just like
Mhm.
reinforcing. And it feels kind of silly at first to like tell yourself these things every
No,
day,
it's
but
good.
like it works. It's crazy how much
Yeah.
it works. And like my coach just told me the other day, like what's going to take you the farthest is your self-belief. So
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
my
Absolutely.
soapbox. Yeah.
Wow. It's the way you say it too, Danny. Think about it. Like everybody, we always say everyone that does something extraordinary starts off ordinary, right? So when you're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
like you, and now it's cool, like saying your name with, Inez's and those we've talked about, like
Yeah.
you get to be a part of that story, like the up and coming story
Yeah.
of like the next generation of athletes, and you're part
Yeah.
of that. And it's actually refreshing knowing that you can take like it wasn't extraordinary. It was just daily doing things every single day, reminding myself, "Hey, I'm not going to yield today. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. You're
Mhm.
better
Yeah.
than this. Don't quit on a bad day. You never
Right.
let yourself give up." And that's really, I think,
Yeah.
what it takes to be extraordinary is don't give up, right, Dane? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that message transcends every sport and every medium that you do, music, anything that you do. You can't quit on your bad days.
Yeah.
that's
And
good.
I was just excited to talk to you this evening because we have a couple of girls on our softball team that have broken into the deadlift, or I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
powerlifting in high
Yeah.
school. So, and I
Yes.
was telling them that we were bringing you on and they were excited. So they can't
Yeah.
that's
wait to hear
crazy.
you.
Awesome. Oh,
It's
I'm so
great.
excited.
It's crazy thing too. I've noticed this when I always make notes again, and when I look
Yeah.
at the when you talk about training and all things you do, I find it fascinating. Dave, maybe you can expand on this too. The majority of the time, you speak about the mental aspect. Like strength is one
Yeah.
thing that's cool. Like even in the beginning, you're like, yeah, I'm just kind of doing my thing, but the mental aspect seems to be the most heavy. No pun intended. The heaviest part is the mental. Right? Am I right, Dane? Are you catching that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But and I also had something kind of to add on or another question to ask. What does your week look like as far as your training goes? How many
Yeah.
days are you lifting and what kind of, I guess, heaviness do you go as opposed to rest and kind of
Yeah.
recuperation?
Yeah, that's so fun. And I wish that my coach was here because he would love this. He would be like, and let me tell you A to Z exactly what she does. So I right now I train 4 days a week.
Mhm.
So I do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sundays. Generally it takes me about 3 hours per gym session, which is quite a
Wow.
commitment, but worth it. I have a very supportive husband that like, fixes dinner on the days that I'm lifting. So like that is incredible. Shout out to my husband, Mike.
Shout out,
Um,
Mike. Yeah.
yeah, shout out Mike. I it goes kind of in I can't think of like an upwards graph, right? So like
Mhm.
I'll start with like lots of reps but low weight, And then
Mhm.
as each week progresses, it'll go higher weight, less reps. So
Mm.
like, for example, last week I did like, I can't even think, 330 pounds on my squat for sets of like 6. And then this week I did 352 pounds for sets of 4.
Mm.
So, and what's cool about that is like it gives us a little bit of like wiggle room to be like, well, I'm not feeling super great, but like I'm committed to the training.
Right.
I'm committed to
Mhm.
like, you can go up, you can go down,
Right.
as long as you're hitting like a prescribed. He usually gives me like a range, so like a percentage of my 1 rep max, or it's called RPE, so rates per oh gosh, I can't think of what it's called right
Yeah.
now, but it's basically like, are you tired?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he'll say like, hit a 7 today, and a 7 means, can you hit 3 more? Do you have 3 more reserves in the tank?
Mhm.
And
Mm.
so sometimes he'll say that, like if I'm having like a really tough day, he'll say like, all right, we just hit a 7 today, like whatever that is,
I
that's
love
fine, like
that.
that's
Yeah.
that's all you
Yeah.
need to do. And that keeps it really like flexible and interesting for me too,
Yeah.
because like sometimes I'm like, well, what was a 7 last week is a 2 this week, so let's
Yeah.
go, like I'm on fire, like let's load some weight on the bar. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I caught this thing, and I'll close. And I know you're busy, but it's cool. Shout out to Mike, seriously, because I'm thinking about this too in closing. A lot of times you'll see, couples, husbands, wives, like, hey, I'm going out for the night with, the friends. It's nothing to spend an evening, out at the bar or whatever. But the dedication, like, hey, I'm taking 3 hours to go lift. That's cool. That's actually a cooler
Yeah.
dynamic, like a power couple, no pun intended, but people that are making life, doing life, and actually doing things that are productive. Like that's a
Yeah.
shout out to like a modern day, like that's cool. I can't get enough, like wrap my head around how cool that is. Where it's like, yeah, it's one thing to say, yeah, go out and have a night with the girls or whatever, and spend all night, drinking or whatever. You're going and
Mhm.
taking time each week to go lift and like better
Yeah.
your future to better yourself. I just thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool. That's a
Yeah.
dynamic that people need to hear about these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
Very
Dan?
powerful. Mhm.
Man. Well, Danny, on that, I thank you seriously. I know you've always got a lot going on. We can't wait to watch your next meet. We'll be watching all of them. We always say once you come on once, you're an alum on this show.
Yeah.
Hopefully after your meets in the future, get some more, competition under your belt, come back, say hi again. We'd love to have you back on in the future. Okay. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
thank you on behalf of us, Dane and Josh and the audience out there. Thank you for your time. Can't
Yeah.
wait to cheer you on, and I hope you have a great rest of your month, and we'll be rooting you on. Okay. So
Thank
Absolutely.
you for having me.
finish strong.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Much love.
Yeah, thank you.
Much love. So then I'm telling you, man, she's cool. That the whole aspect of just, I think it's neat to hear the origin story of how this came about, Dane, where it's just doing my thing, being me, just being me, and somebody recognizing her for being her. Wasn't that kind of cool, Dane? The way it came
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. Like you say, it's everybody recognizes when somebody does something great,
Yeah.
something beyond themselves, and you see it beyond yourself as well. And you can kind of, look at it and say, maybe I need to get up and go do something myself. That's
Yeah.
how I always feel when I talk to all of our guests. Like, man, what have I been doing this week?
What have I done?
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to go lifting 4 days a week. I'll probably pull or hurt something, but just motivates you to do something and become a better person. So that's the whole goal here, and we hope it helps everybody out there when they listen to all these great guests we have on.
Think about how she started during COVID too, when the world was upside down and
Yeah.
just stressed out, and she found a perfect time to latch onto something healthy. If you look
Yeah.
at statistics during COVID, more suicide mortality, more
Yeah. Yeah.
more obesity, more bad eating, more drinking happened during COVID than any other time. It's fact,
Right.
right? What she did instead was, I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to be a role
Yeah.
model. I'm going to literally lift my problems off the ground, right? On my porch. Like,
Yeah.
think about that. What a sight that back then it was probably normal 5 years ago. You see
Yeah.
somebody out there just powerlifting, just
Yeah.
lifting massive amounts of weight off the ground, right? And
Yeah.
that's how she chose to deal with it and become that out of that such a horrible time became something so great. Now, did you hear it? She's like, I'm expecting to go third. It's normal. I'm
Yeah.
expecting to take top 3. Not even a question in her mind, right? Kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And that's the dedication. And you know, with that comes the supporting group around you. Like you
Yeah.
said, her friend Julie, her husband, her
Yeah.
coach. I mean, she's got a great supporting
Love that.
group around her that makes her be at the peak
Wow.
performance whenever it counts.
That was awesome. Well, man, I tell you what, I can't wait to see the next competition we'll be watching. So all of you out there, Danny lifts heavy on Instagram. Follow her. She's awesome. All you girls
Yeah.
out there that are looking to get in that sport, she's really, really good at DMing back. So send her a message. We'll make sure we get the socials attached to that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
to be a great one on behalf of Dane and I and the whole audience, and on behalf of Danny, don't forget that we love you. And Dane,
Thank you for listening.